Hey, how's it going? In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a guide to soloing with double stops. What is a double stop? A double stop is basically two notes played at the same time. Simple as that. I'm going to be showing you how we can pull off some double stops, and I will be giving you a few examples that you can apply to your playing. This video is going to be perfect for you if you want to add some more variety into your soloing, so enjoy. Alright, so today we are working in B minor, and we are going to be using the B minor pentatonic scale, which looks like this. You should be familiar with that already, but that is what we're using today. So there's a few different types of double stops we can do. First of all, we are going to play double stops using every other note. So to explain this, we're going to be playing the first note of the scale, then skipping a note and playing the next note. And we're going to be playing those two notes together like that. So we have quite a few options. So let's go through them. So we've got the 7th fret of the E and A strings. We've got the 10th fret of the E string and the 9th fret of the A string. We've got the 7th fret of the A and D strings. We've got the 9th fret of the A and D strings. We've got the 7th fret of the D and G strings. And when both frets are the same, I am just barring. You can play with two fingers if you want to as well. We've got the 9th fret of the D and G strings. We've got the 7th fret of the G and B strings. And we've got the 9th fret of the G string alongside the 10th fret of the B string. And we've got the 7th fret of the B and E strings and the 10th fret of the B and E strings. So out of all of those possibilities, we can create all types of licks. Now, here's a lick that I've created using these types of double stops. If you like the backing track that I'm using, then head down to my Patreon where you can go and grab an MP3 for that. So, enjoy the lick. So you can get some really cool sounds from playing with those double stops. Another thing you can do with some of these double stops is hammer-ons at the 9th fret. So let me show you what I mean. So if we bar the 7th fret of the G and B strings, and then we hammer on the 9th fret of the G string with our ring finger, being careful not to deaden the note on the B string, then we can create a cool little double stop hammer-on, and you can do that on the D and G strings, that's correct, and the A and D strings as well. So I wrote a lick using these as well, so check it out. Now, those double stops sound really cool as well, but we've got even more options to us. So instead of skipping one note, why don't we skip two notes? We're going to play the first note, going to skip the next note, and play the next note there. And we've got kind of a power chord shape. So we've got the 7th fret of the low E string and the 9th fret of the A string. And we're going to repeat that pattern throughout the whole scale. So, what else have we got? We've got the 10th fret of the E string paired with the 7th fret of the D string. Then you've got the 7th fret of the A string paired with the 9th fret of the D string. You've got the 9th fret of the A string paired with the 7th fret of the G string. You've got the 7th fret of the D string with the 9th fret of the G string. You've got the 9th fret of the D string with the 7th fret of the B string. You've got the 7th fret of the G string with the 10th fret of the B string. You've got the 9th fret of the G string with the 7th fret of the E string. And you've got the 7th fret of the B string paired with the 10th fret of the high E string. And I've written another lick using these double stops. So have a listen. Okay, so they also sound really cool. Let's try skipping 3 notes this time. So let's see what's available to us. We have the 7th fret of the E and D strings. We also have the 10th fret of the E string paired with the 9th fret of the D string. We've got the 7th fret of the A and G strings. We've got the 9th fret of the A and G strings. We've got the 7th fret of the D and B strings. We've got the 9th fret of the D string paired with the 10th fret of the B string. We've got the 7th fret of the G and E strings. And we've got the 9th fret of the G string paired with the 10th fret of the high E string. And you guessed it, I've written another lick using these double stops, so have a listen. So far we've just stuck with the pentatonic scale, but now I'm going to add a couple of notes that are diatonic to B minor. Diatonic meaning in the key, so everything's in the key, but they're not contained within the pentatonic scale. So I'm going to be using the 8th fret of the B string, and also I am going to be using the 11th fret of the D string for this lick. So take a listen to what a lick sounds like when you add some extra notes in there. Alright, so those are all the licks and examples of double stops I've got for you today. Imagine all the possibilities you have available to you when you use all the pentatonic shapes across the fretboard. It's endless, especially when you don't just stick to the pentatonic scale and use major and minor scales. So there's a lot of options when it comes to double stops. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. What do you want to see next? Let me know in the comments section too. And don't forget, in the description, there's a link to my Patreon page where you can grab an awesome backing track that I played along to with tabs for everything that I showed you in this video. See you in the next one.